Good evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to Season 12.
Today is going to be a new challenge, aside from being sand for. We're racing on the surface of the sun, apparently.
Heading down towards the main start line.
Maximizing that track just behind. That's exactly what we were talking about. That one corner. So critical to your lap time. You have to send it. This is the apex curving there by a little bit.
Everybody's now bunched up, and you do not want that.
We wide now at the end of Sector 1 in the spot you really don't want to, but the fight's not over.
Still there on the inside, and the McLaren's still not going to give the place up.
And we're off and away for SRA.
All right, good evening, everybody. We got a racing today. It is Division 5, Round 4. We are at the Nurburgring. And today, I have two special awesome dudes with me. I got Matt Anderson. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
And then I got Robert Lacey.
Howdy, folks.
Hope you guys are all doing good. We're going to be broadcasting for you guys today. Any predictions from you guys before we get into the whole thing?
It's going to be wet.
Oh, yeah,
It's going to be
true.
carnage.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be that race.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, man. It's going to be kind of crazy. I'm kind of scared myself for tomorrow. But I'm kind of glad that these guys are doing it today. So in that way they could like get me prepared for tomorrow too. But I don't know. But anyways.
I remember who the classic racer was that said rain is the great equalizer.
Oh, dude, you had to throw that on me. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to look it up now.
I got to do
Go on.
Chat GPT. Help me. Anyways.
You know, at any rate, I think this is going to be interesting because, you know, this is the kind of thing that'll make or break you, you know. You either can hang with it and you can hold it on the line and find yourself picking up some surprise positions just by being able to drive consistent, or, you know, you're going to struggle. It really just depends on how much practice and time you've got able to put in.
That is true. If you are consistent with it and you don't take a lot of risk, you could end up with a ton of points like you did last week, right, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really going into the race last week in a good place. I didn't spend any time during the break practicing, but you know, when I signed in and I got ready to go, I was like, okay, all I got to do is survive, and just surviving will get you some points. And so sure enough, I might have qualified at the back, second to the back. I was able to climb up to at least the mid-20s, which for me, with no practice, no preparation, I was happy to take that. So that kind of goes the same for especially these kinds of conditions. If you can just drive consistently and cleanly, then worst case scenario, you're still going to pick up some positions, even if you're not the fastest one out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So today, as you guys already know, the rain's going to be pouring. Track is treacherous, and the GT3 drivers in Division 5 are gearing up for a high-stakes battle in this iconic circuit. It's a true test of skill and strategy, sheer determination as the championship heats up. Grab your umbrellas, sit tight, and let's dive into what promises to be an electrifying race. But before we get there, do any of you guys do the SRA fantasy?
No.
No, Robert?
I did it once.
Ah, okay, cool. I was just wondering if you guys had anybody in D5. I had Simon Barnes.
Oh, you know, I do know that there's been some shakeups with people getting moved between divisions, so that's probably been fun for the fantasy league people. Maybe next season I'll do it. I wasn't quite ready to jump in yet with this season.
Yeah.
I feel like I would probably jinx someone if I chose them. I don't want to do
You
that.
know, yeah, I feel like that too, but if you don't tell them, then you just do it. I think they might get a good luck charm.
It's not like the prediction series that is out there for everybody to see.
That's true. That is true. All right, let's get to the calendar. So It's week 5 or week 4. Sorry, we're at Nurburgring. It's going to be rain all day. Then week 5 is going to be Zolder. Then we got Mount Panorama for round 6, which is week 6. Week 7, we got Alton Park. And then our season finale is going to be in round 8 at Valencia. So let's take you to the track map, show you some track stuff, get you a little bit of a flyover here. This is Nurburgring, Germany. We got a length of 5.148 kilometers or 3 miles. About turns, we got 15 turns, 9 right-handers, 6 left-handers. It was first opened in 1984. It was a modern GP layout. The current use, it hosts a bunch of endurance races, GT Championship, and Formula 1 in select years. It's known as a green hell. The adjacent Nordschleife section is one of the most challenging tracks on global circuit. Okay, turn 1, which is the Yokohama S, is a heavy braking zone, and after the main straight key, it's a key overtaking spot, and sometimes people crash here a lot. Then we go up into turn 2, the Mercedes Arena, which our little drone is going through right now. It's a slow right-hander and it requires precise throttle control. I can never figure out where to brake here, and my timing, I always lose here. Whatever I gained at the beginning, I lose it here. Turn 3 is the left-hand turn in the Mercedes Arena. It's a tight left-hand curve, and it's important to maintain momentum here. Turn 4 is a right-hander. It's coming out of the Mercedes Arena. It's a medium speed corner leading into a straight. It's a good exit. A good exit is crucial for time gain and for overtaking into this next spot, which is turn 5, Valvoline curve. It's a fast sweeping left-hand turn. You got to stay committed through the apex though, because if you don't, you might lose it out and go into the dirt. Turn 6 is Ford curve. It's a long, tricky right-hander. Balance is key, and so is speed. Turn 7, as we head down the straight here, we come up to the Dunlop. It's a hairpin bend. It's widely used for overtaking on the outside and on the inside, depending on how risky you want to get. But in the rain, it might be a lot trickier. You might have to brake a little bit earlier than what you're used to, or you could just go for it and send it. And then as we go up, after the hairpin, we go straight up into the Schumacher S. How brave are you in the rain? I'm not that brave. I hope you guys are, because the exit here requires a careful throttle modulation. And after you get out of the S and the trickiness of it, you're going to come up to turn 10, which is a medium speed left-hander. It's a left-hander. Then you come up to the right-hander here, which is the turn 11 here. It's a quick right leading into a straight. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is turn 10. Is a medium spin, sorry. And then you come up to turn 11, which is the quick right hand leading into a straight. A lot of speed through here. A lot of overtakes are done here as well into this next turn, which is turn 12. It's a tricky left kink. High speed setups are needed. In the rain, I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be taking a lot of downforce, so they're gonna be doing a lot of tricky stuff here. Turn 14, mobile curve, fast left-hander as well. Exit speed is crucial. And then the final curve, which is turn 15. It's the final corner, and you better get it right because speed counts here, especially to start the lap. And that is our little drone taking you through the track. And then we're going to give you some cool little track details here. All right, so again, as we go through this, we're going to go ahead and give you a sponsor, and then I'll be back with you guys.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from 𝐷ocuMize, a modern business solution for product management. Go to 𝐷ocuMize.com to learn more today. And support from RetroSaga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas.
All right, and sorry to interrupt, but we're going to qualifying because we only got a couple minutes left for these guys. We went a little bit too long. I went a little bit too long. Sorry, guys. So, as we're on board right now, we're on board with Connor Farrell.
Looks like we're having some of our first lap times coming in. So far, Clark with the fastest lap with a 2:05.
2:05, that's a really good time, actually.
You know, I hate to admit it, but that's better than I've been able to manage so far.
Yeah.
Looking at the times, that 2:05 is about middle of the pack for the 5-lap average, I would say. On the hot lap, let's see here. On the hot lap, they've still got some time to make up. But with the silver drivers right now, the track is wet. You know, I imagine it's probably, really slick conditions out there. Sounds like that's obvious, but you think it'll dry out, get a chance to dry out at all for the gold drivers?
I don't know. Maybe a dry line, a little bit of a dry line, maybe. I don't know. But it looks like it's going to be heavy rain. The track temp right now is at about 26 Celsius, and then 23 Celsius is the ambient. Heavy rain in 10 and 30. So I don't think that's going to, I think it's going to be, I don't know. I don't think it's going to, I don't think a dry line's going to come up, but I could be wrong.
No, you're probably right. Yeah, it's saying go into light rain in 30 minutes. Well, qualifying will be over long before that. That is for sure. Who do we have here? Banks is up 1.2 seconds on his previous best.
Let's go take a look at Brian Banks.
1.5. He's on a heater. .6. Wow, what an improvement.
Let's take
now
a
we
look.
got Power in here with the new fastest lap of 2:04.7, which is a great time.
Jeez, Steven. Take a look at Roger Dismukes, who's actually up right now on time. He's about 3/10 up. Steven is still P1 right now. He's up on time. Edward Ryan is up 2/10, currently trying to beat out Steven for the 2:04 for P1.
Yeah, it looks like with 2.5 minutes here left to go in qualifying, our top times are 2:04, basically a couple 2:04.8s almost. 2:04.7, 2:04.8, 2:04.9, 2:05.3. So a little more split up than I guess I would expect the times to be, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, just a little bit, but again, it's kind of hard to get up there right now. Right now, let's take a look at Steven. I'm not even gonna attempt the last name because I know I'm gonna butcher it, but Steven is up right now 3/10 on time. So he's looking at a 2:04, maybe 4 or 5, depending on how he comes across the line right now.
I think
And
it's
as
Pellerin,
right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been saying, but I will admit I've been kind of just guessing at that.
And as he comes through, it's a 2:04.5, which is really great. But then behind him, Edward Ryan in the GTR is doing really good. He's up 4/10 right now. He's currently, his best time is a 2:04.8, and currently lost a little bit of time there, but he was up about 4/10. And at 11:13, we got about another minute and a half to go for these guys to quali. Yes, it is, Booster. It's coming down. It's going to be coming down all race. If you thought there was going to be a dry moment, negative.
Yeah, you know, as I'm looking at the hot lap times here for this group for D5, the lowest time happens to be a 1:58.465. Bunch of 2:02s and 2:03s. I'm thinking what happened was in the practice, some of the different practice servers, they must have got a really dry session, allowing for those times where right now we are just sopped wet.
Yeah, I'm not going to confirm or deny that allegation. But I believe that is what it happened. But Edward Ryan coming in at a 2:04.3. He's now P1. He currently holds the P1 position, and at 10 minutes we're going to get the other guys to go. Michael McWeezerson's in the pit ready to go as well, so you know we're going to be having the last couple laps of these guys. So as these guys all come in, I'm going to go through as they come in. Right now on board with Steven, the number 164, as he's coming through the chicane here up into turn 15. Let's see what kind of time he puts down. Steven does not improve. He stays in second place, but Cesare or Caesar, I believe, improves. He goes up into second, takes Steven out of the P2 rankings. And then we got Roger Dismukes, who's coming in right now. Roger up in P7, and then we got the number 129 of Kevin Unda. Ooh, that's a cool Coca-Cola livery. I like it. And as he comes up, he's in 13th, and he goes up to 12th place. And then we got Connor Farrell, who's actually pulling off to the side, and then we're gonna get Alan Long in. Alan Long, and then we're gonna have one more after that.
We've also got our gold drivers now out on track, getting ready to get those first laps in.
Yes, sir. Ooh, dang! And Thomas Regg snags P1 with a 2:04.3 at the last second. Crazy stuff. Now let's take a look.
He was keeping that in his back pocket, I guess, and waited till the very last to bang that one out.
I mean, that's the best part, right? Don't show your hand until the last second.
Yeah, considering how wet the conditions appear to be here, that is a pretty good time. Both of those 2:04.3s that went up on the board.
Yes, sir.
Followed by closely by Pinkowitz with a 2:04.4, and May with a 2:04.5, Pellerid 2:04.5. So it was pretty tight there between the top 5 for the silvers, which is a little bit more to be expected.
Yes.
You know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be really interested to see what kind of times we get from the gold drivers here, because I know, you know, we've had kind of the shuffle happen with the silver and gold drivers getting moved around. So I'm wondering if the delta between our gold and silver drivers is going to be any different than it was last week, now that we've had some of the faster drivers get promoted in Division 3.
Ooh, that's a good call.
I think that's almost to be certain with the reshuffle and how many, from what I gathered, how many silvers became golds. Yeah, you know, but we'll see.
So I think the advantage would be to the silvers, no? Because if they come out on track and it's, I mean, like that's if the track is already like just completely drenched. But if it's anything like the quali server, where it's light rain at the beginning and then it steps up into heavy, you could technically put on a set of dry tires and try to go for it, because I think that's what you were talking about earlier. They had like a little bit of a dry track, and that's how they got those like amazing times.
Right. So when you're in the practice servers and you know, it starts to dry out, changing your setup slightly in order to be able to get more out of those unusual conditions, in order to put a better time on the hot lap leaderboard to be able to scare your competitors. I would never employ such a tactic. I'm just saying, but it does happen.
Yeah, that's true. And as we take a look at Sergio Lindo coming up, he did his out lap. Now he's coming through. This should be his lap, and we'll see where he puts himself at. One of the first gold drivers to cross the line here. Let's see where they put themselves. He puts himself up into first with a 2:04.2. That's a great lap. Wow. And then we got Alex Stupa, who's put himself up into 8th, closely followed behind by the 185 Mustang here of Aaron Kovac. He puts himself up into 8th. The 229 of Mike Heisner puts himself up into 4th. The 13 of Michael McWeezers puts himself up into 13th. And then the 162 of Mr. Ramon Lorenzo, where he puts himself up into 8th place. 986 of Yaro Kovao puts himself up into 7th. The 904 of Kevin Nepal is going to be in 2nd place. Wow, that's legit there. And then Simon Barnes up into 15th. Then we got
gold drivers coming out strong.
Yes, sir. Cliff Harmon puts himself up in 13th. Richard Mack, where you at, buddy? And then the 716 of Tyler, as he comes through, puts himself up into 20th.
So this definitely answers my question. You know, even with the shuffle, obviously we're definitely seeing more pace out of those gold drivers. And so, you know, it's, if anything though, I'm seeing maybe some more, I guess, some closer deltas with the gold drivers. I don't see anybody just dramatically pulling away from the rest of the field like we had in the previous 3 rounds.
No. Well, there it is again. Rain, the great equalizer, right? How can you handle the rain? And I mean, previous rounds come down to practice. Every round comes down to practice. But being able to drive in these conditions, keep a good pace, and not lose it is a different talent, I think.
Very true. Very true. Ryan Van Epps up right now, currently 5/10. He's looking to be knocking on that door of P1 right now, because currently his best time is 2:04.1, and if he's up 5/10, that puts him down to 2:04.6, 7, somewhere in that area. So let's see if he's got enough, or 2:02.7. Let's see if he could break the 2:02 barrier.
It's looking like a pretty good lap to me, guys.
Yes, sir. I think he's got it.
Oh, yeah. He's bringing it home.
Bring it home, Ryan. Bam. 2:03.3. Oh, I was off in math. Whoops.
He made a ton of time on the Coca-Cola curve.
Yeah, a ton.
I think he made 3/10 on the Coca-Cola curve alone.
I was watching that. I was watching that time, and it was kind of hovering around that 0.5 improvement, and then he gets through there, and it just shoots up 0.8. Yep. And I was thinking, oh man, he's got it figured out.
Yes, sir. Now let's take a look at somebody else who's up on time. Dave Pagini, another GTR.
I can speak to teammates. This one. So I messaged Dave last week because the pronunciation was I really wanted to figure this out. It's Paganini.
Paganini?
So, I got confirmation from Dave himself. The pronunciation of the name is Paganini. I had to know because it was driving me crazy after last week.
He put it in the chat too when I saw that and I went, yep, that's how we were getting it wrong.
Paganini. I like it.
Our bad, Dave.
But he's currently up 6/10 right now on his teammate. Oh, nope.
Oh, wow.
Dropped it down. He was itching to knock off his teammate, but right now he's currently just a little shy. Yeah, just a little shy. Ooh, now he's knocking on that door again. Dang! Second up.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an absolutely killer lap.
Dang, and that's going to be your title contender fight right there. Dave, oh man, you just told me. Jeez, 203, knocking out that 202. Currently P1.
Looked like he made a lot of the time up in the NGK chicane.
Yes, sir.
Looks like these guys are gearing up to try to bring a 1-2 finish home for this week.
That's going to be legit. A team finish, a 1-2. Currently looking up and down the field, we got Tyler Martin, who's in P24 right now, currently up 3/10, 4/10 now as he comes through. Good enough for P23. And then back in 8th place, we got Simon Barnes, who's 3/10 up right now. He's in 8th place right now. 23 seconds left to go in qualifying, so these are going to be your last laps. After this, we're going to go straight to the standings. We're going to take you through the standings real quick after this, and then after the standings, then we'll get back and show you the liveries. And then Simon Barnes loses out. So Ramon Lorenzo's right now up on 3/10, but let's take you to Diego Hernandez because he is currently about to cross the line as the clock goes down to 0. Diego Hernandez, does he put in a lap? He's currently in 19th and he stays 19th. We got the number 968 of Sergio Lindo. Where are you going to end up, buddy? He's in 6th place right now, and he stays 6th place. Now we go to Aaron Kovac. Aaron Kovac comes up at 20th place, and he stays in 20th. And then the number 13th of Michael McWeezerson as he comes through the final turn. He's into 11th place, and he's good enough for 4th. Dang, that's a jump. And then we got Ramon Lorenzo taking 2nd place, and then Dave Fagini in 1st, still in 1st. Nobody else is knocking on that door but Yaro Calvao in 16th. Does he go up? No, he stays in 16th. Number 780 of Cliff Heyman as he's coming through. That's good enough. For 7th. Nice jump, buddy. And then the number 921 of Jeff Thompson in the BMW. The number 921 in 14th place. How far up can he get? Still in 14th. And then the number 716 of Tyler Martin as he comes through. He's going to be your last one through. Tyler Martin has finished it into 12th. And let me take you to the standings. All right. And we got standings. Mr. Anderson, it is all you, sir.
Okay. So for our Season 13 Division 5 standings, currently on top, we have Austin Townsend, followed by Mike Heisner, Ryan Van Epps, Shane Transu, Kevin Naples, Jaro Caval, Simon Barnes, Connor Farrell, Cliff Hemian, and JP May for rounding out the top 10. Continuing on from there, in the hunt, Tyler Martin, Thomas Ma, Edward Ryan, oh boy, Cesare Pinkowitz, there you go, Alan Lung, Corin Mummery, Aaron Kovac, Sergio Lindo, Thomas Reg, and John Baham rounding out then the top 20. Following on from there, Brian Banks, Marlon Abubo, Jan Rodericks, Jeff Thompson, Dario Ferrer, and Dave. Oh, help me out. How do we say that again, Robert?
That would be Paganini.
Paganini, Dave
Paganini.
Paganini in 26th.
And then
Continuing on.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
For the rest of them, we got in P27, we got Kevin Unda, we got Alex Stupa in P28, Stephen Pellerine in 29th. We got Roger Dismukes in 30th, John Donahue in 31st, 32nd is Michael McWeezerson, Dan is in 33, Richard Mack is in 34, Craig Moore is in 35, Ramon Lorenzo in 36, Diego Hernandez picks up 37th, 38th is Ian, 39 is Grant, 40th is Mr. Smith, Sandro is 41st, Matthew is 42nd, Jonathan is 43rd, Ryan Clark is 44th, and 45th is Luke. And then the team standings, there you go.
Yes, for the team standings, we're looking at Chuck Leclerc Racing of Transu and Martin, Mid-Pack Mafia and Only Bad Drivers Allowed, Cliff Hemian and Jaro Caval, ZDR Boys, Black Flag Racing, Roger Dismukes and Mike Eisner, Crash Test Dummies, also OBDA, Austin Townsend, Ramon Lorenzo, MHR Gabagool Racing, which happened to be our placing high today for the qualifying, Ryan Van Epps and Dave Paganini, Champion Motorsports, Jeff Thompson, Kevin Naples, Baseline, and Odd Life, Connor Farrell, Thomas Reg, Team DNF and Comic Racing OBDA, JP May, Aaron Kovac, MHR Audis coming for us, El Nuong, Thomas Ma, and then rounding out the top 10, Santa's Slayers with Simon Barnes and Dan Thibodeau.
Now let's get to the race. As we start out, we're gonna go over we're gonna show you a couple of these guys' liveries. Starting in 31st, we got Thomas Ma, who's up there, and then we got Kevin Unda, who's in P30. P29 is Dan Theobucks, and then Robert, you could take the rest.
All right, so coming in 28th, you've got Lung, and in 27th, you've got Farrell. Coming in 26th, you've got Banks, and in 25th, you've got Farrer. In 24th, you've got Dismukes, and 23rd with Clark. 22nd is going to be Mac, and 21st is going to be Kovac. Getting in the top 20 here with Hernandez, led by Pellerin in 19th. 18th is going to be May. 17th is going to be Koval. In 16th, we've got Pinkowicz. And 15th, we've got Thompson. 14th, we're going to have Eisner. And 13th, we've got Ryan. And in 12th, we've got Martin. And in 11th place, we've got Reg. Now, getting to our top 10, we've got Barnes in the 606 Ferrari. And 9th, we've got Stopa in the 703 McLaren. And 8th, not sure what happened there, but Lindo in 9th and Stopa in 8th, both in the McLarens. 7th place, we've got Hemian in the 780 Porsche. And 6th place, we've got Transu in the 216 Ferrari. And 5th place, McWeezerson in the number 13 Aston. And 4th place, we've got Naples in the 904 BMW. And for our top 3, 3rd place, Ryan Van Epps in the 616 Nissan. And 2nd place, Lorenzo with the 162 Porsche. And our pole position is Paganini with the 808 Nissan.
Yes, sir. That's your starting order. Now,
I'm just going to keep saying it until I get used to it. Paganini.
Paganini. That's what I do too. Like every time like I learn somebody's name, I'll like say it like 10 times until I get it. But then like if I don't keep saying it, then I'll forget it.
Paganini, yeah. I'll just say this. For every time that somebody butchers your name, at least you're not an Anderson. Nobody gets that one wrong.
That's true. That is
boring.
True.
Boring.
So predictions?
Yes. There will be a race. Somebody will win.
There will be rain. Rain in 10 minutes, guys. Rain in 10 minutes.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
That's going to make things interesting, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that it's not raining right now.
Oh my
goodness.
God, we're getting ready to
It's going to come down
start.
to who can hold out there on the dries long enough to get that pit strategy right when they go to wets.
I hadn't noticed till right now. That is, yeah, this is going to be something else.
And we're go for round number 4, Nurburgring, Division 5. Paganini gets a good start as he goes up into first place, as he stays in first place. Nobody attacking him right now, but as we get a bunch of the cars making up a couple places in the back there, they come through. His buddy Ryan Van Epps is being attacked in the back right now, and as they come through second corner, Ryan Van Epps does a really good job and holds out that third place, but first and second getting a lead off here. So let's go back into, whoa, right, Paganini losing it out to Ramon Lorenzo, but Ramon Lorenzo going off track, way off track, and now into the grass, but still in first place. Let's take a look at these guys. 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐥𝐿 up in fourth place, making up a ton of places here. And now we got 𝐷𝐸𝐥𝐿𝐥𝐿 fighting Heyman up in front in the 904. Let's take a look at Kevin Nepal's as he sees what we're gonna do here. Kevin Nepal's is on the outside into the hairpin here. As we come through, Kevin Nepal's can't fight it, has to give it up.
All things considered, we had a pretty clean start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, there's always lap 2, but
yes,
we've made it this far.
Paganini is dropping back further from Ramon. Ramon just took off. Looks like he had a bottle of NOS on him or something.
Where things are really going to get interesting is in about 10 minutes or so, when the rain starts coming down. That's where we're going to really see what happens.
A great equalizer. Having Ryan Van Epps dropping back down the field. We'll take a look at what happened with him. Ryan Van Epps is in the 716, I believe. 616, actually, I'm sorry. We'll take a look at what happened to him. As we go back in the replay, as they come through. Just getting a little squirrely on the outside and then just had to take it.
Unfortunate.
Right now, Kevin Nepal's is dropping back. He's in 5th place right now. He's 3 tenths behind Paganini. Paganini is still up in 3rd, losing out 2 places now. So really strong in the wet, but right now having a tough time in the dry.
Yeah, it looks like Paganini's got Transu as well, just right on his bumper, looking for a way around.
Let's take a look at that splitter camera. Let's see how far up he is. He's up there. Shane is trying to get through, and it looks like Shane made a move, and he did, and he's through because Paganini has dropped back. Now Paganini being fought off. He's got to stop the bleeding here. He's got Kevin Nepal's coming up the inside, and it looks like Kevin Nepal's is going to be taking it, and he does. And now the rain has started. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but that was not 10 minutes.
That was not 10.
Exactly what I was about to say. We're only 3.5 minutes in, and it's already starting. And you can see that is changing rapidly. I was wondering if Paganini was dropping because he went out there with his wet setup. Maybe the other drivers, saw the condition change, decided to gamble a little bit, go with the dry tire and see how far they could make it. With the rain starting up with, 3.5 minutes into the race, that could change things dramatically at the front.
Yes, sir. And right now the track is sitting at greasy right now. We're gonna have a little bit of heavy rain coming up in supposedly 10 minutes. That's what at least ACC says, but we all know how that works. We thought it was gonna be 10 minutes of no rain, and we only got 5.
I love it when it says greasy. It's greasy.
Yeah, buddy.
The track is greasy.
Greasy.
And you guys saw that as soon as the rain started coming out, maybe like 3 turns later, you see cars running wide and kind of struggling already. Because just like that, the moment that water starts hitting the track, those braking points change immediately. And if you're already kind of getting your mind into into a dry track, you know, you've got to be ready to adapt quick.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I could have maybe said we would have risked it on dry tires for 2 laps, because technically what they do, what, a lap and a half, 2 laps already. So
Yeah, 2 laps.
if you risk it and you put on dry tires immediately, or like right at the start of the race, and you do 2 laps of dry time while everybody else is on wets, you're going to gain, right? But then if you're going to move on to wet tires, you can go for a long stint. If you come in after the second lap, no matter where you're at, just come on in, get the tires on, and then go out for the full long time. And there you go. There's your pit stop. You're already done.
I can see that strategy. If it were me, I would think, you know, if I knew it was only going to be 2 laps worth of dry like that, I'd have probably gone out on wets and just struggled through it, tried to keep the tire temps low, wait for the rain to come down. Would have wanted to see a few more laps than just 2 to try to push that strategy. That's just me personally.
That is true. And right now, Ramon Lorenzo is dropped down to 2nd place, and Alex Stopa is up into 1st.
Saw a big off track there for him as he went into there.
Couple off tracks, actually. One at the beginning and one now. We got a couple accidents to report to you guys. The number 141 got into an accident. Let's take a look at what happened to him. Looks like it's going to be into turn 1 here.
That's a dangerous place to do it.
Oh,
It's
man.
wet. Oh, yeah.
Ah.
And there's the bumper thumper right there.
Oh. Kevin Nepal is up right now. Yeah, it's very painful. Kevin Nepal is up right now. Currently trying to take away P7 from Roger Dismuse, but Roger Dismuse handled that very well. Now Roger's up into 7th. Kevin Nepal's dropped down into 8th. Where's my buddy Simon Barnes, my fantasy driver? Simon Barnes is up in 9th right now. He's trying to knock on that door for 8th place. Get up there, buddy. Give me some points. Then we got Tyler Martin in 5th place in the 716. Currently 8 tenths behind Michael McWeezerson, trying to take over 4th place from him.
Martin's up 7 spots from the start, but 2 spots behind him, Dismukes is up 16 spots from qualifying.
Gee, that's good stuff there. 16
must have
spots.
While it was getting wet, he must have found himself a good late break and made it work, I suppose. Something made it through the fracas. Because we really haven't had a big wreck or anything at this point. Knock on wood.
And that was
Well,
Roger
you just
Dismukes.
had to go and say it now, didn't you?
What? Me? No.
What commentator's curse? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what? Commentator's hers? Yeah.
Looking back at the front of the field, I'm seeing kind of some back and forth with Stopa and Lorenzo. I have a feeling that their battle is not done.
And that's what it was. They were on dry tires, and now they're coming in. They're both coming in right now. Shane Transu is actually coming in as well. Michael McWeezerson in. Tyler Martin's in as well. So they're all coming in. So
here they come.
I think they try to go out on dries for as long as they could, because now it's damp. Who else is coming in?
Well, I guess we know who decided to try that strategy.
Yep, Dave Paganini is up there right now. I forget, there's a way that you could tell whether or not they're on dry tires or if they're on wet tires. I forget what the trick was. It's either they don't have the yellow on the side or they do have a yellow on the side.
That makes sense. I don't know what it is.
Not sure what that is, but I'd be curious to see if Paganini made the call to stay out, to go out on wets, because you could see Paganini kind of falling behind during those first couple of laps. Maybe they made the choice to go out and start the race on wets, so that way they would come in, save themselves from having to pit. This might pay off for them.
Yeah, it is far too early to tell, right? The drivers who went on those dries, you know, they were up front, of course. They're having to pit pretty early. They've now got 50 minutes to go. Of course, with SRA rules, you have to take on tires. You cannot refuel during your pit, which you have to pit. But, you know, the wet tires, they should last that full 50 minutes without too much problems, wouldn't you think?
I think so. And I got some news for you guys real quick. Roger Dismukes up 22 positions. 22 positions from the start. He's up in the second right now.
Absolutely fantastic drive from Dismukes. And, you know, without being able to comment specifically on their strategy or maybe I haven't seen a lot of these moves, I have to say. I think they've just been sneaking their way up there. But this could be a good example of kind of racing consistently and cleanly and waiting for those opportunities to just take those positions.
And as you see the Ferrari of Simon Barnes behind him, ooh, now he comes. Roger comes into the pit. He was on dries.
He's got those yellow stripes on the side, so I guess that's your trick you're talking about?
I think that's what I heard before, but I could be wrong. It's something, I mean, let me see if I could go to somebody else that just came out of the pit. Let's see, 𝐂𝐸𝐧𝐿. We know 𝐂𝐸𝐧𝐿 went in the pit, right? So let's take a look and see what his tires are. Are they all black or do they have a yellow stripe on it? The Pirelli. If they don't have the yellow Pirelli, then those are rain tires. I think that's what they had said before. So
yeah, that makes sense. The yellow Pirelli is the dry and nothing is the wets.
Yeah, so then I guess that's what the trick is. So I guess they were on dries, yeah.
They just use on dries then.
Yes, sir. Paganini still on dries. It looks like.
Yeah, looks like those are dries.
Yeah. He said it's not wet enough for me yet.
Well, heck, if he's up that high, you know, in first place and still on dries, is that what you're saying?
That's what it seems like to me, sir.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
And, you know, they don't look like they're too uncomfortable out there. I mean, they're nailing their braking markers. They're getting through, you know, and this is in a damp track with heavier rain in the next 10 to 30 minutes. So, I mean, maybe this is the play all along, and you just go out on dry tires and make that last as long as you possibly can. You know, Paganini's going to have to plan on doing a pit anyway.
Right.
So if this rain continues the rest of the race, then this may have been the great, like the strategy to go for.
So let me give you some stats here. Paganini, his last lap was a 2:03.9. He currently just did a 2:04.9. Everybody else is coming around at a 2:05. Well, 𝐂𝐕𝐿 is in second place right now. He's the second. He's the fastest driver out of everybody right now coming through. 2:05.087 is 𝐂𝐕𝐿. So Dave has been going around at 2:03, 2:04. So when's the switch going to happen? And there we see him sliding. I think the switch is going to be coming up here pretty soon.
Regardless, they are keeping a pretty consistent pace with everyone else, including some people who I believe might be on wet tires already.
Cliff Haymon in fourth place right now, a second behind Simon Barnes. Simon Barnes is in third place. 𝐂𝐕𝐿 in second. We got Edward Ryan in sixth. Another close battle there. And then Ryan Van Epps in 15th place is trying to make up positions now. He's up in trying to take a move on 𝐂𝐕𝐿 for 14th. That's got to be tricky. I think I would have called it already. I think I would have came in already and like got wet tires because I'd be scared of wrecking it. But they might have had a master setup, or they did a ton of practice with it. Maybe TC all the way up.
Oh, they're just trying to pull a Ayrton Senna. That master drive in the rain, right?
Yes, sir. And there they go. There goes Ryan Van Epps on 𝐂𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿 after the Schumacher S. Now he takes 14th away from 𝐂𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐿. Let's take a look at Diego Hernandez.
You know, as we're watching them come around the Coca-Cola curve here, the last turn as we go down before the straight, I wanted to ask the chat here. We've got a lot of interesting corner names here at Nurburgring, like the Coca-Cola curve. Wondering what what your favorite is. Coca-Cola curve, the Valvoline curve, Ford curve, Dunlop curve, Schumacher S, Michelin curve. My favorite is the Varsteiner curve. And then finishing out with the NGK chicane. Does anybody have a favorite? I'm just interested. Put it in chat.
What's your favorite?
Mine's the Varsteiner. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Just, yeah, well, it's not a particular, you know, it's a okay curve. I'm just saying I like its sponsor.
Oh, okay, cool. I get you.
I'm partial to the Coca-Cola curves, personally.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Coca-Cola curve just because I drink too much Coke.
You know, maybe if it was a Diet Coke curve, I'd be more in with it. Real Coke is just, you know, too much for me anymore. I don't think I can handle it.
But you know, it doesn't quite have the same ring to it. The Coca-Cola Zero curve.
Right. Absolutely. I'm glad they have it named the way it is. And I think by saying Coca-Cola, it you know, encapsulates all of their products, right?
That is true.
Did we have a little off track there while I was talking?
I believe so, but I had switched it over to 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐿 because 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐿 is coming up right now on Richard Mack. He was fighting with that was Ramon Lorenzo, and they're both basically tied to the hip because there goes Ramon Lorenzo after 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐿. So those two had came into the pits at the same time. They're on wets because those are all black tires. So there are still a couple people still up on the track with dry tires. So from 18th on, everybody's on dries, I believe.
And I will say, looking at race control here, out of the 31 cars, there are 16, only 16 that have not yet pit, and we're only at the 42-minute mark. That is, the rain is definitely dictating. No, only 16 out of the 31 have not pit yet, and we still have 42 minutes to go. So the rain is definitely dictating the pit strategy here.
I might be looking at something wrong because I see 18.
Oh, okay. Maybe it is 18. I'm counting this off.
I did something wrong.
I'm looking at it and I only see the top 16 that are still out there
Okay.
have not pit, and everybody else has. I was just thinking of it in terms of, you know, normally if we have a dry track, you're trying to kind of get to that 30-minute mark plus minus, depending on where it is that you are positionally. Where here it's the rain has, you know, sent the majority of the pack already into the pits. If they didn't have wets on before, they do now.
Yes, sir. You would hope. You would hope they did. So just a minute ago, if you guys saw it, Aaron Kovac just got a little bit of an off track. I didn't see it quite well, but now he's down into 29th place. And as he sees the cars up in front of him, trying to get up there, Mr. Cesar, or you know what? I need to know his name. I'm going to need to ask him next time, but he's up into 10th place.
Pinkowitz?
Pinkowitz.
Yeah,
that's my bet.
A little further up the pack here, we've got Thomas Ma and Farrell having a bit of a battle. They've been trading back and forth a little bit.
Let's take a look at Thomas Ma. Oh, I clicked on the wrong Thomas. So Dave Paganini is still up in first, has not pitted, and is currently turning in 204.8. He just turned in a 204.8, and everybody else is turning in 205.9s and 206s. Dang. Whoa. How much longer can this guy last?
So far from the chat, I at least have one person saying the Schumacher S.
Ooh, that's good.
Schumacher S. Yeah, I mean, it's Schumacher, right? Like,
going up through Schumacher, are you full throttle, or do you lift, or do you brake in the rain?
ooh, in the rain, that definitely changes things. For me, most of the time, I'm gonna lift, right? Maybe touch the brake to make it rotate if you need to. But rain's a different deal. Rain's a different deal.
Have you guys been practicing it for tomorrow?
No.
I have not either.
Pretty much, I did not have a great start to this season, and I've pretty much decided that I'm just going to sit in the booth for season 13.
No way, man. You should race tomorrow. Come on.
Yeah. Especially with no practice.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You just turn the TC up.
I will be a danger to myself and others.
Yeah, but it'll be fun.
Nope, I don't need any more penalty points, thanks.
Oh yeah, forget those things transfer each season.
Yep.
So we got Brew Hop. Says you lift. Use the curb, lift a bit, and floor it. Is what Mr. Stephen Buckley says.
Floor it. I like that mentality.
Yes, sir. You, sir, have great courage. Yeah, let's go with courage, because I wouldn't be doing that. I'm not doing that. Yeah, see, that's me right there. Exactly what this guy just did, Edward Ryan. That's what I would be doing.
A little wiggly.
Yes, sir. Thomas Ragg right now behind Mr. JP May. He's 0.5 behind him, trying to take away P6 from him. Just a little weather update for you guys. It's raining, and it's going to continue raining, and the track is wet now. Temperature's up at 21 Celsius for track and ambient. Well, technically track's 22, ambient's 21.
Yeah, so the track temp dropped by 6 Celsius from the beginning of the race. And we are, according to this, going into heavy rain in 10 minutes. So if its forecast is correct like before, it'll be within 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Simon Barnes up on Cliff Heyman right now, trying to take away P3. And if he's not careful, he's going to get taken over himself by Mr. Edward Ryan back there. And let's see if he can make this move stick going into turn 2. It looks like he does, but the 780 is going around the outside as well as he gets a little squiggly there. Comes up into turn 4. Sorry, turn 3 and then turn 4. Let's see how they come out. Oh, and he gets hit.
Contact.
Oh, man. Just like that.
Into the wall. Oh. And then he's... What else is he going to do? Reversing the track?
No.
It was clean. I mean, at least there was no after accident contact.
Yes, sir.
It's so frustrating when you're in that situation. How do you come back out of it cleanly, you know?
And it's just a little taparoo too. And it's just...
Yep.
And then he hits the wall again as he comes out. He tries to... Oh, God.
Yep. All it takes is a little bit for that bumper thumper.
Yes, sir. He's still in 10th place though, so still doing okay. But gotta.
He can fight back from that.
Yes, sir. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. I believe in him. Let's go to Diego. Edward Ryan did complete that move on Mr. JP May. And Edward Ryan's up into 4th now. 11 laps done, 34 minutes left to go in this race in round 4 at Nurburgring. I hope I'm saying that right.
Nurburgring, Nurbs.
It's the Nurbs.
It's close enough for us, I'd say. We we don't exactly have the most stellar track record on our pronunciations, but that's okay.
You know, but we keep it interesting, right? Who knows what silly thing we're going to pronounce wrong next? Like BMW Poor.
Before we know it, we're going to have people in chat taking bets on who's going to butcher what name.
As well they should, right?
You got to do a pool.
So looking down the field, we've got a little bit of a train forming behind 𝐲𝐵𝐺 there. With Lorenzo, Mac, and Trenzu all kind of fighting it out. Let's see here. Looks like Lorenzo is going to try to make a move here going into turn 1.
Yes, he is.
And Lorenzo sends it up the inside, but is 𝐲𝐵𝐺 going to be able to take it back? No, 𝐲𝐵𝐺's going to fall right in behind him and I think make a safer call there.
That's a safe call there.
Yeah, I think the way that 𝐲𝐵𝐺's line going into there was, I just don't think he could have tried to take it back coming out of the exit there, especially at risk of messing up his line going into turns 2 and 3.
Yes, sir. Right now we got 𝐷𝐿𝑒x right now 0.4 behind Brian Banks. He's trying to take 10th away. He's already got his pit stops in, so right now we'll see where he goes.
Yeah, we got kind of a mix there midfield of those who have pit and who have not pit. Other than that, you got the top 10 right now who are still hanging on. Seeing a gap there right between 𝐕𝐵𝐺𝐻 and Banks, 16 seconds. That's still not enough for the entirety of a pit, though, right? Let's see. Looks like most of the top
17 seconds
times. Most of the top times for a full pit are right just about the 1 minute mark and a little bit more. So, you know, as you're looking at those times, anybody in the top 10 right now, it's going to be tough to hold on.
We got Cliff Heyman coming in, and so do we have Steven Pellerin coming in as well. So they're changing out those dry tires. You see those yellow marks on those tires? That's dry.
Wow.
Once they turn to black. Yeah, I know, right? And Dave Paganini is still out there too, and he's on dries.
That is absolutely wild to me.
Look at that yellow marks.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I would have been too chicken, and I would have either pit already for wets if I didn't start on wets.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where's the bop police? Just saying. All right, I'm just kidding. They do a great job with that.
Just kidding, but like, really?
Really, I need the Honda to get bopped even more.
What sort of weight is Paganini throwing out of that Nissan?
Yeah. No, I have nothing to speak on with that. I don't know how they do their math magic on the bop. So that's for sure.
But speaking of Paganini, you see that slide going into there? That rear end is very loose.
Oh, it's a Nissan. He's a pro drifter.
Oh yeah, that's true. Forgot about that. It's a part of his technique.
Yeah, sure. Right.
It must be. Kevin and Paul's up into second place, the number 904 BMW. And then in third place, we got Edward Ryan, who's 12 seconds behind him. JP May is in fourth place, 4 seconds behind him, and 1.5 is Thomas Reg. But then we got Richard Mack, who's trying to make a move on Mr. Dan. Man. I heard you say it a minute ago, Robert, and then I was going to copy you and
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau.
Doe.
Close enough.
Yeah, right.
Richard Mack. Oh, there we go. Richard Mack sliding all out. Ooh, thank goodness he did not hit that car, but now everybody else is kind of coming all around him. Let's go into the heli. Ugh.
Gotta hold the brakes.
He did. He did.
That was a close one, but I think they hit their brakes again and saved them from having a further incident.
𝐷𝐴𝐿𝐼 jumping over the curb to get into the pit. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he was off track or something. Let me go back 10 seconds and see what happened here. No, everything was fine. Michael 𝐕𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐺 making a move for 10th. Nope, I'm sorry, for 10th. 𝐷𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐺 taking it away from 𝐕𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐺 there. Michael 𝐕𝐴𝐻𝐼𺫏. And then Mike Heisner is 1 second behind them as well. So in that Porsche. Going down further down the field, it looks like a bunch of people came into the pit and are leaving the pit. We got Brian Banks leaving, Cliff, Dario, Dan, Austin, and Yarrow, I believe. So all those guys, and now we got Davey Paganini now coming into the pit. Paganini coming into the pit. So he went for a total of 30 minutes on dry tires. His last lap was a 2:05.9. Kevin DePauls.
Importantly, Paganini has managed to stay up the front with several other drivers who also had not yet pit. What that means is Paganini is going to go out with fresh, wet tires, and looking at the forecast, that'd be the play to make. With that strategy, that means that everyone else who is just behind him is going to have to pit at some point. And I think Paganini had just the absolute strategy play of the day here for sure.
That's for sure.
I got to tell you, I'm looking at another cam. When he drove into the pits, I think he had wets on this whole time. You might have to look at a replay there, but I don't know that he was actually on the dries this whole time.
Could be. They could be true.
If he's able to pull it off, we might have to ask him that in the.
Oh yeah.
In the driver's chat after. That's something I definitely want to know.
Yeah, I want to know that. Now he's got all black tires, so I don't know.
Well, they were black coming in. I was watching him when he was coming in.
Oh no, they were yellow.
Well, I thought that was odd that I saw that it looked like they were yellow at speed, but slow. I was watching them come into the pit, and they weren't.
Huh.
I don't know if that's a graphical thing or what. Yeah.
You could be right, sir. You could be right. We'll ask him when he gets here. If he does do a good job.
If he does. Well, we can ask him in chat after, too.
Oh, yeah, that too. So, Stephen Buckley giving me a bit of advice for tomorrow. Use the curb, right? And then stay in fourth gear for the Schumacher S for tomorrow.
A little more torque.
We got JP May up in second place. Kevin DePaul's up in first. Thomas Reg in third. And then we got Mr. Pinkowitz in fourth. Let's get some more battles.
Quite spread out at this point.
Yeah, as I look down the list here, I don't really see any close battles right now. I think drivers are kind of settling into the groove. There's been a lot of intense battles for the full, 30, almost 35 minutes we've been running. Typically, I think, after 20 minutes or so, you see a bit more separation. But this time around, it was battling out all the way through here up to this 25-minute mark. And again, notably, these top few drivers have had to go pit. May now in the pits as well as Nepal's.
And you know, I'm also noticing that there are still 29 drivers on track. We started with 31. We are over halfway through the race. That speaks a lot to the consistency that our D5 drivers are showing us here in the rain at Nurburgring.
Very true. Very true. 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝑒x up in 5th place. He already had a pit done. 𝐂𝐸𝐿𝐒 is currently in 1st place. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Thomas Reg is. And then we got Alex up into 3rd now. Thomas Reg in 1st in that Porsche, still on dry tires, apparently. I think. Then we got Mr. Pinkowitz in 2nd. 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝑒x, who came back, who had a pretty interesting off track, and now he's up into 3rd. Let's see where Mr. Paganini is at. He's currently up in 8th place right now. So I don't know if that paid off or not, because there's 25 minutes left to go, and you just put on wet tires and they're cold. You got to get them up to temperature. Do you think he can make enough of an impact to get up into the podium positions from here?
Well, you know, he's in 7th place right now, looks like. The top 2 still have not pit. So that's 5 places to have to fight through.
Yes, sir.
With a grid that is fairly well spread out at this point. That's going to be tough to fight back from in 23 minutes and 30 seconds.
Holy smokes. That was an interesting little off track that we just saw there. But right now, Mr. Paganini is trying to take over 6th place from Mr. Tyler Martin. Let's see what they do going into turn 1.
Spinning it down the inside. Looks like he's already got it. Well, got his overlap. What? Can he hold on?
Very respectful driving here. Yeah, very nice.
Oh, with the bumper thumper. But at least they both kept it straight.
Yeah, that's what counts.
Yeah, I think that was just you know, hey man, you took the inside there. Let me let you know I'm still here.
Sorry, I hit the NOS button on accident. My bad. 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝑒x up into 2nd place.
Do you suppose that's a 10-second car? I'm just wondering there.
It's a sub 10-second car. Family.
Right. Yeah. For those who still get that reference, it's about family.
All right, so a couple battles up and down the field going on right now. Cliff Heyman in 25th place right now, trying to take over 24th from Brian Banks as they come through the start-finish straight. Now we go into turn 1. Mr. Heyman is looking on the inside, trying to see if he could fool Mr. Brian Banks. Does not, slots in behind and goes through. Let's take a look at another one. Diego Hernandez is 1.8, but actually Yaro Caval is 0.8 behind JP May. This is a little train that's going on here behind Thomas Maw. Look at that train. Very nice. But let's see if Yaro Caval can actually make something stick after coming out of the Schumacher-esque. Will he take the inside outside? Let's see.
This is a tough place to pass.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, especially in the rain.
I have a feeling somebody's going to send it into the chicane.
Yep, if you can get a good exit there out of the Varsteiner curve, and then going into the NGK chicane, you might be able to take it down the inside, make the other person back out. Doesn't look like they were able to get it done this time.
No, sir. But the train continues as they come into the last turn, now heading down the start-finish straight. This is a pretty good battle that we got going on here. Check this out. This train of cars. JP May looking on the inside of Mr. Thomas Reg. Does he do anything? No, he doesn't, but he slows himself down even worse. But now he's susceptible to attack from 𝐲𝐻𝐿. As they come through turn 3.
Being on a train like this, especially if you're in the middle there, I would just be keeping my eyes forward. You know, you got to be cognizant that that person is behind you for sure, right? You got to drive a little defensive, but eyes forward. And, you know, there we go, going down the inside right now, trying to get the pass done.
That's a blue flag, I believe, sir.
Oh, is it? Is it a blue flag?
Yeah, there's a blue flag.
I thought it was part of the train there. Okay.
No, it was a blue flag.
I was saying it spoke exactly to what I was saying, is that, you know, at a certain point, you got to forget about that person behind you, keep your eyes forward and try to get that pass done, and then, you know, let them be the next person's problem.
Yes, sir. Just pretend like they're not there.
Right.
And speaking of different trains going on down the track, looking further back in the field, we've got kind of a train forming behind Banks in 23rd place with 𝐷𝐸, Himyon, and Mac following behind and getting kind of too wide through some of these corners here.
We'll take a look there now. We'll go there now, actually. Heyman, 𝐷𝐸, and Banks here, all fighting through. Whoa, that's a lunge into the hairpin. That's Mr. Richard Mack behind Heyman, trying to scare him into making a mistake there as they come through. Oh, does he get the inside? He does. Richard Mack sees the inside and he sees space. He sees the door open and now he's gone through the door. Thank you, sir. May I have another? That's 25th place for Mr. Heyman. And now Richard Mack can claim. No, he cannot, because he's dropped back now. Dang, these guys are trading punches. Cliff Heyman doing a really good job here to get that position back from Richard Mack. Dan has seemed to have had a little bit of an incident, and now he's dropping back. He's in 21st place. Let's go back to 𝐲𝐻𝐿 and all these guys. JP May, let's see how they're doing. The time is still the same. So I think the strategy that 𝐲𝐻 is off. 𝐲𝐻 is off. I think the strategy for Mr. Paganini has worked out because he's currently lapping at 2:03.3, while the rest of the field is up at 2:04s. So he's up into 5th place right now, 5.7 behind 4th place. But to get up to 1st, he's got about 5, 8. That's what? 13, 14, 15, 20. About 25 seconds of 1st, maybe 20, if that.
So like we were saying, you know, he was in 7th, had those top 2. One of those top 2 is Pitt. Pinkowitz still has not, which with 17 minutes left to go. Oh, who do we have off track here? 𝐲𝐻𝐿?
Yeah, 𝐲𝐻𝐿. That was 𝐲𝐻𝐿.
Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
But yeah, you know, so he was obviously able to pick up a spot, but Pinkowitz still has to pit.
He's 20 laps in. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's really trying to hold on to the last minute, which if you're at the front and he had wets on the whole time, that is the strategy.
Pinkowitz, jeez. All right, let's take a look at Kevin DePauls. He was in 1st and now he's in 7th place. Trying to make a move here on Mr. Michael McWeezerson in that BMW. That's a nice looking livery too. I like it.
Yeah, not too bad.
Let's see if we get some more action going on. I know we left I know 𝐲𝐻𝐿 left that train with JP May and Thomas Reg, but let's see how they're all doing. They're not too far back from these guys here. In Thomas Ma here. Diego Hernandez as well is behind JP May. 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐴𝐻 now into first place because 𝐍𝐴ZARI is in the pit. Or I'm sorry, Mr. Pinkowitz is in the pits now, and 𝐷𝐸𝐿A𝐻 taking over first place. Where did our buddy Pinkowitz start from? Let's see. Pinkowitz started 16th, and he's currently 8th place right now, but he's going to keep dropping back because of that pit stop. So back on to Kevin Nepals, still trying to make a move on Mr. Michael McWeezerson. Does he get this move done? Not yet. Still fight for another day as they come through.
Speaking of fights, looks like May is trying to get around Barnes for 13th position.
Let's go, JP May. In that Mustang.
You know, I am now legally and contractually obliged to be a Mustang fan since I now own a Ford in real life.
Yes. We bring you to the dark side. You just got to drive it now.
I've owned 2. Never again.
Oh, no. Which one's the 5.0?
No, they weren't. Neither of them were anything fancy or, you know. My first one was a Ford Ranger that I lifted and put big mud tires on and had fun with.
Yay.
But I realize there are plenty of people who love Ford, and I'm happy for them. I'm not one of them. I did my time. So because of that, even though the Mustang is so strong in ACC, I still have I refuse to drive it.
Hey, no harm, no foul. Back when I had before I get onto that side rant, Nepals was able to take the position from McWeezerson.
It's Naples.
Naples. Ah,
yes.
See,
Steven told us right now.
This is the theme of our broadcast, is getting people's names wrong.
You know what would be great if he was in a Mustang, because then you could be like Naples. Sorry.
Before you go on your rant, though, Robert, I will say that perhaps if I actually had a cool Ford like a Mustang, I'd be more of a fan. I sadly never did.
My only Fords I've owned have been a Focus ST, which was arguably a cool Ford. And then I went from that to technically my wife's car, but we had an Expedition Max for a few years now, and now I've got a Bronco. So I've gone from cool Ford to cool Ford relatively.
Broncos are cool. Yep.
That's the way to go.
Back when I used to have a Nissan Titan for some years, and during that time I exclusively drove the Nissan. So, you know, that's how it goes.
It is.
As we see Cleve Fayman coming up through the chicane here, up into turn 15. He's got to make a move. He is a little bit faster than Mr. Brian Banks right now, because Brian Banks is turning in at 205.6 and Cliff is turning in at 205 flat. So let's make a move here, buddy. As they come through the start finish straight, let's go to a turn 1. Let's see. He goes up on the inside. He takes my advice. He goes in. Everything's going all right. And he picks up 23rd from Brian Banks. What a nice move done. Diego Hernandez now up into 15th place behind JP May. Edward Ryan, another car to look out for. He's in 9th place right now, currently 0.5 behind Tyler Martin. And there they go. Let's see them go through the chicane and then turn 15. Let's see if Nurburgring can make something stick here as he goes through turn 1.
We're going to see another turn 1 pass here.
Curve. Not quite enough. We have a yellow.
780. 780. That's 𝐓𝐴𝐺. He's got a yellow. Maybe went off track. Let's take a look at what happened here for Mr. 𝐓𝐴𝐺. It's got to be going up through the Schumacher S. Oh no, what happened? He just turned off?
He pulled off? Yeah.
Maybe he hit the ignition switch on accident?
Technical issue, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
Ryan Van Epps is 0.5 behind Roger Dismukes. Ryan was looking to be on pole today, if I remember right. He was up in 5th place for the start of the race. No, he was in 3rd place for the start of the race, and sadly, his race has not gone as good as it could have because he's down in 20th, trying to take over 19th from Roger Dismukes. And we got 9 minutes left to go. Dave Paganini is 4th right now. He's 1.5 behind Shane in 3rd place to get up into podium positions. But Alex Stupa is in 1st, and he's currently sitting at a 5.4 lead to 2nd.
And as an update here real quick, looking at the log, Cliff, he must have had a technical issue because he has disconnected from the race.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's painful.
Looks like, this far.
Looks like Ryan and Martin's battle for 8th and 9th is continuing. I believe it looks like Martin made it through. And now Ryan is trying to get that position back, and it looks like they get a little squirrely there. Maybe some contact?
Let's go back a couple seconds.
Yep. Went a little wide.
Simon Barnes in 13th place. My pick going out a little bit to trying to take over 12th.
Watching a couple of these battles here, guys, I learned something new. I'm going to go ahead and ask you. We'll have one lap to be able to run this. Do you know what the name Nurburgring literally means? No cheating, no using Google. I want to hear what you think. It's like Nurburgring.
So what I understand of it is Nurburg is I want to say a village or a town of some sort. So it I want to say it's like just the name of the town ring. Like that's my guess. I'm rusty on this, but that's my guess.
Okay,
Robert says the name of the town. What do you think, Henry?
I'm gonna go with it's the name of a candy bar or something, like a candy factory or something like that.
Candy factory.
Yeah, I don't know, because they have Coca-Cola curb and stuff like that. I don't know why I'm hungry.
Yeah, you need a Snickers.
I need Snickers.
Well, I mean, I guess if we were talking about a big fancy building built out of candy, then you guys could be right. No, Nurburgring literally means the ring of the castle. The ring of the castle. I did not know that.
Ring of the castle, huh?
Ring of the castle. Yeah. So
that's pretty
there
cool.
You go. Yeah, learn something new.
And we got Thomas Ma here in 12th place, trying to take over 11th from Thomas Reg, but does not do anything. No, nothing coming up right now. Come on, Mr. Ma. Well, we go on the bumper cam of Steven. and Tyler again as they fight it out. And does he get it through? He does. That Aston Martin coming through as they go down to the hairpin. Or I'm sorry, not the hairpin. 5, turn 5 and 6.
All right, guys, looking back up the field, our buddy Paganini there, right there, trying to get that podium back. I think Paganini's got it in him. But
I think he's got it.
He's been closing that gap with Transu. I've seen it down to like 0.3 to 0.5 seconds. So we'll see what Paganini's able to do.
You know, 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes left to go now. I think it's entirely possible that Paganini can get by Transu, but then it's another 4 seconds up to Lorenzo. So I think what he's probably fighting for right now is that last spot on the podium. And let's see if Transu can hold him off for another 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Hey guys, I got an update for you on the weather. In 30 minutes, it's going to go to light.
Well, that's going to change the strategy. Let's see what they all do once they get to the pits.
Simon Barnes now 0.5, knocking on that door, trying to take away from Thomas Ma. Come on, Mr. Barnes, as he goes on the outside here into turn 1. Looks for it, nothing going up into turn 2. As he comes into turn 2 nice and lightly. Got to prepare for turn 3 here. Gets on the brakes a little bit. Let's go on board. Oh, getting a little squiggly coming out of there. Going into turn number 5 here. A little left-hander. Do we have 𝐲𝐿 back up in the 18th? So he had that off track and now he's back up in the 18th now. Trying to get on 𝐂𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐻. Trying to take away 17 from him. Yes, very good.
You know, and trying to recover from something like that is especially difficult when you've got when you kind of get that in your head, you know, and it can kind of snowball into further mistakes. So to recover that well is a pretty impressive drive from 𝐂𝐸𝐴𝐺.
And here I thought you were going to say impressive to recover when you're driving a Porsche.
That too. That's
well,
another.
I'm saying that because that's what I'm driving. Well, I was driving this season, but.
You know, the Porsche is inherently unstable, almost like an F16 with what do they call that? Inherently unstable flight model or flight aerodynamically unstable. The Porsche is also unstable. I'm trying to think of the right word here.
Aerodynamically unstable?
I guess that would be the right word as well. But
it's mentally unstable. There you go. That covers it.
There you go.
That's the drivers.
That's the drivers. Oh, that's that's us Porsche drivers. That's probably true as well.
But
I think they have another word for that starts with M. Anyway.
Mechanically unstable? No. It's just got a rough balance, people. Okay, especially as the fuel tank's in the front, and as it starts to come down, you're almost. Sometimes it feels like you're driving a different car from the beginning of the race to the end.
You know, the great Jeremy Clarkson once said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but everything about it is wrong.
Yep.
It shouldn't do what it should be doing, or what it is doing.
Meanwhile,
on board with Dave. Yeah.
Fight with Paganini at the front. Looks like Transu is able to extend that lead against Paganini up to a second.
Yes, sir. Going back to Simon Barnes. Yes, sir. Going up to Simon Barnes now. He's got Thomas Ma in his sights. Too close for missiles. Going to switch to guns.
Folks,
Dang, that was a really nice drive.
Martin. I've got the replay up on our picture-in-picture here.
Ooh. Let's see if Simon Barnes can actually make this move stick, going down through the back straight here before they come into the chicane. Thomas Ma looking inside. Simon Barnes on the outside here, going through. Does he get in? No, does not get closer, but it is getting heavy. And now we're up into 0 time. So now get your last laps in, boys, because time's over. As we go on board with 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝑒x_STUPA. What you want? You want some whiskey? You want some tequila? What's your last call shot?
I'll tell you what, these drivers are going to be wanting some drinks after a race like this.
I would want it.
This battle with Paganini and Transu is heating up. Paganini getting right on Transu's axle here as he's trying to find that chance to make his move and get up on the podium. I don't think Paganini is going to give up here as they kind of get into the back half of the track here. With that 0.2 second gap, you know Paganini is going to be looking to make some last-minute lunges and try to get that position.
Yes, sir. And as we see this battle going, we're on the back of Shane, and Shane messes up.
Just like that. Paganini sails into the podium position with a 3rd place. Transu just had that unfortunate squiggle of the rear end there, and Paganini is able to secure that podium.
And coming through for your last lap, we got 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝑒x_STUPA taking the race win at Nurburgring. Bam, bam. There we go, buddy. P1. Congratulations on that. And then we got closely behind Ramon Lorenzo in P2. And they, Paganini, we're going to ask him what you did. Remember that. In 3rd place. Shane is in 4th, sadly losing out. Kevin DePaul's in 5th place. Then we got Michael McWeezerson, who's coming through the start-finish straight as well. Mike Heisner brings up 7th place. Then we got Edward Ryan in 8th place. Mr. Pellerin is in 9th place. And then Thomas Reg in 10th place. There we go, Thomas Reg.
Did we ever figure that out from last week? Is it Reg or Reg? Because he's Canadian, I want it to be Reg. I want it to be Reg. I don't know if that's true.
Simon Barnes in 12th, JP May in 13th. We got Austin Townsend in 14th, and then 15th is Diego Hernandez. 16th is 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐒_STUPA. Mr. Penkowitz is in 17th. Ryan Van Epps is going to be taking 17th. Or no, I'm sorry, 18th. Then we got Roger Desmukes as well in 18th. Diego Ferrer, TC8, is in 20th. Dan, Mr. 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐒_STUPA is in 21st. Brian Banks is bringing up 22nd place. There goes Dan, and there goes Brian Banks in 22nd. Richard Mack is in 23rd, and he will be your last one to cross the line, Mr. Richard Mack. We're going to go to a quick little intermission, and then we'll be right back.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐒, a modern business solution for product management. Go to 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐒.com to learn more today. And support from 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐒, a North American based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at �RetroSaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high quality sim rigs and accessories, Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter fantastic.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We got our P3 position, Mr. Dave Paganini here. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. That was a fun race.
Tell me about it.
The start was a little hairy with the tires kind of just blowing up on me. But I mean, once the rain came, it was all right. It started picking up pace, and I pitted a little late. So
I mean, it was a pretty good call.
For the next one.
It was a pretty good call. We all kind of have questions, so I'm just gonna shoot out one, and then I'll let the other guys go. What was the tire that you took to start the race? Was it dry or wet?
It was wet. So
dang,
they were melting.
Wet.
Yeah, that is crazy.
We were trying to figure that out, and I was watching you as you came into the pit, and I could see that it didn't have the yellow coloring on the outside. I'm like, I think he's on wets, guys. I think that's what he did. So to the point you made, since it started out at 26 Celsius track temp and basically dry, and you know, I bet your tires were blowing up there for the first couple before the rain started to come in.
They were all red, like a deep red, like that.
Oh, wow.
It was brutal. But yeah.
Did you want to change your strategy at all? Like,
no,
did you have second? No.
I've run more on hot, wet tires on dry than I have the opposite. You know, so I feel more comfortable. Ironically, but I feel more comfortable in that position than anything else. And I knew it wouldn't be too long before the rain came, so I just had to try and hold on to as many positions as I could before the tires stopped melting.
Yeah, we definitely saw some of that with your first lap. It seemed like you were having a harder time holding that position as people were able to get around you. And looking back, it was because many drivers started out on those dry tires, which I think gave them just a little bit more pace at the start of the race. But clearly, it paid off because once you manage to stay out there while those people on the dries had to go to the pits, it let you kind of secure and hold on to that first position for a while.
Yeah, and it just my pace just kind of came back to where to where I thought it was going to be. So there was a section there where it just was churning out those laps, trying to pick up as much time as I could.
Well, it definitely seemed to work out for you. I mean, we watched you battling with Transu for a while, just trying to get that pass done, and in the end, it was just a slight mistake on Transu's part, and you were able to capitalize.
Yeah, I was trying to be as annoying as possible.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do when you're a following driver, right? So I guess in that end, you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, that was great.
Was there any kind of like hesitation after a while? Like, did you ever think that you weren't going to get up into the podium positions at all, or did you just like have a moment of like, ah, crap, this isn't going to work, this isn't the plan?
Yeah, I honestly, the way that the rest of the first half of the season has gone, I was just hoping to make sure that I got that position that I was in. If I could take advantage of something and make the pass, I'd be happy with that too. But I'm just trying to get to the end and keep the positions that I gain. So, you know, I was trying to keep the pressure on him, but I didn't want to try anything too stupid, just in case, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we've all seen what happens when you try those, as you say, stupid moves.
Yeah, Misano was rough.
Yeah. Oh man, that was. I tell you what, Misano was a painful one to both watch and experience. So, you know, I'm sure that even coming into Nurbs, even with the wet, it's like a breath of fresh air. I tell you what, Misano is just such a tight technical track. Which surely factored into as well kind of your strategy and practice here, because obviously you had your situation with the wets getting really heated up in the beginning there, but throughout the rest of the race, you know, I think tire degradation surely played less of a factor than it did last week at Misano with those crazy high temperatures. Do you have anything else on that front?
Well, unfortunately, in my Misano race, I didn't get to the end of my tire wear, so that was one thing. But here, I don't know. I just I feel a little bit more comfortable, ironically, with the tail, tail end of the car kind of slipping a little bit, and I just feel with the GTR, I can keep it under control. So even when the tires were going off a little bit, and I kept thinking, one more lap, and let's see if I can push it and get one more out of these tires, but. I came out across a pit lane with my teammate in front of me, and I could see him pulling away from me. I was like, all right, it's time. And maybe I should have gone in a couple laps earlier. But after that, with the fresh wets on wet, they felt great. I probably could have gone the entire race on those tires. They felt fantastic.
Yeah, I tell you what, when I was looking down the results from qualifying, seeing you and your teammate up at the front, I was excited. I was I was really rooting for you guys to do a 1-2 finish. I just think that would be really cool to see. But things happen throughout the race. What can you do? All you can do is adjust for it. Drive consistently, cleanly, and survive to the end. Really.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you for. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm good.
No. You were going. Go for it.
Oh no, I honestly didn't have anything else to say. But,
all right. All right, brother. Well, thank you for joining us in here, and congratulations on your podium spot, P3, man. Keep at it.
All right, awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Later. And then now we're gonna get
Lorenzo,
that's right. Ramon. No, wait, was it Ramon Lorenzo?
Wasn't it?
Yes.
I will tell you right now. Yes. All right, let's get
And we have
here.
with us in the booth, we've got Ramon Lorenzo. Ramon, how's it going?
Hey, how are you? Good. Happy
Tell
for
us,
the
buddy.
second place.
Yeah, tell us about your race, man. How'd it go?
Well, it went fine. I mean, I like wet races, so we could have a championship, by the way, only wet races. But normally, no, I like them, and I was fortunate enough to qualify well. So it was a good race. The strategy was worked, which was to start with dry tires and change as soon as the rain started, and live with the same wet tires for, I don't know, 45 minutes. But it worked in the end.
So my strategy call might be working for tomorrow.
Okay,
you're
yeah.
probably the only person I've ever heard of to ask for a season of wet races. But it speaks to how comfortable you were in the wet today, and it seemed to paid off coming in second. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, and the Porsche made a difference. I've raced for several seasons with the McLaren, but the Porsche really, it's another animal, much better animal.
And then
I also changed to the Porsche this season. Not doing as good as you are, though, so good on you.
Okay.
Hey, Ramon, I got a question for you. At the beginning of the race, it kind of looked like you went a little bit off track there. Can you tell us what happened there?
Oh, I went twice off track, but in the beginning, you mean that I started with a turn 1 too wide? Is that your question?
No, I think it was going into turn 4 before the straight, before that little straight, like out of the Mercedes
probably
arena.
I haven't reviewed yet the replay, but probably I touched I don't know some grass or the border. Anyway, I had 2 situations like that, but all self-inflicted. And in the end, I still hopeful that I was going to be able to reach stop up, but we had the same strategy. We stopped it in the pit at the same time. So
yeah, you guys were basically trading punches the whole time, because you were up in first place, and then he caught up to you. Then you guys traded spots a couple times. Then you guys both followed each other into the pit. That was pretty cool. Was that your plan?
No, it was fun.
To follow him into the pit, or was, I guess,
no,
if
he stopped 1 second after me. I mean, our spots in the pit were one after the other. I stopped and I saw him stopping. It was almost synchronized.
Okay, cool. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know, Nurburgring in particular is a track that really can punish you in these wet conditions. If you even get a little bit on those curbs and a little bit on those like certain sections of the track that you can maybe normally utilize on a normal optimal dry lap. So can you tell me a little bit more about kind of the racing line adjustments you have to make, especially as the track transitions from a dry track to a wet track?
Well, to be honest with you, when I was with the dry tires, I was racing like if I were in the wet track, because I was so used when training, etc. So I didn't use much of the curbs, etc. But on the wet, there are some curbs that you can use safely. So I did use those. I can't, I never know the names of the turns and things like that, but there are like, I would say 5 curbs that you can use safely in the wet. Maybe not in medium wet, but in low wet, yes.
Okay, so it sounds like really the right play was to go into it with the mentality of already driving that wet line, because I definitely saw some drivers who may have been taking that very fast dry line. Once that rain started to come in, you could see them running a little bit wide, kind of missing some braking points. So that seems like the strategy to take here is, if you've got a dry start, really get your head into that wet track mode, because you know it's coming. It's just a matter of time, and if you get too used to that dry track, it's just going to throw you off.
Yeah, and you can survive like 2 laps, maybe 3, after the rain started, unless it's a storm. But with a light rain, you can use the dry for the first 3 laps, I would say.
When the temperature started, like I know when you came in, you changed tires when the rain started, or basically like 2 to 3 laps after. But towards the end of the stint, towards the end of the race, were you worried at all? Like, or did you have any trouble trying to keep the tires up to temperature?
No, they were lower than in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were in the 30s, not 31s. Normally, when I just changed them, because the track was not sufficiently wet, it shot up straight to 32, all the tires, and then it came back to 31.5, which is perfect. And then by the end, as you said, it went down on the 30. I think close to the 30.1, 30.2, something like that. Okay.
So you like staying high up there, huh?
Oh yeah.
You like 31.5 instead of 30.5.
Oh yeah. For some reason, that was trial and error. For some reason, you know that overlay crew chief, crew chief. It says I was with the 30.5, and he was, your tires are cold. And okay, let's see what this guy is talking about. And yes, 31.5 is the optimum.
Ah.
Yep, I shouldn't have said that.
Taking notes for tomorrow. I got my notebook out.
Yep, I got my notebook out too. I'm taking all these
your secrets.
Okay, forget about the wet championship. I gave you that.
Oh no.
Oh,
Very
fantastic. Fantastic. Great drive from you today. Excellent, consistent, clean drive. Happy to see that performance out of you, and congratulations on that second place.
Thank you very much. After 100 races, that's my second podium. So when I reach 200 races, maybe I'll win another one.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
Let's hope it comes in earlier than that, but
Yeah.
No, yeah, sure. No, now it will.
yeah, because I willed it. All right,
Good
buddy.
job.
Well, congratulations on P2, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, as we send Mr. Ramon back to where he came from into the D4 server, we're going to pick up on our last person, Mr. 𝐿𝐼𝐴𝐺, right? Yep, 𝐿𝐼𝐴𝐺 is here. So, Mr. Anderson, I will let you take it away. I will bring him in here, and then you can take it away once he gets here. What the heck?
I think he is. Mr. Stopa, are you here with us?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your win today in the wet at Nurburgring. That definitely was a challenge. How did that race go for you? How'd you pull that off?
I joke with my friends that you win the race in turn one, and I think I did.
You're not supposed to win the race in turn one. How did you do that?
I would say I got pretty lucky with a little grass touch and a little bounce, and was able to save it before crashing into everyone and taking out everyone in turn one. But starting on the dry tires was probably the move.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. Some of the drivers, stayed with the wet and had the high temperatures. We were talking with Paganini. So I guess you opted for the dries to start.
Yep. Yeah.
How many laps did you make? How many laps did you make that go before you finally came in? I don't think I remember.
I don't remember at this point anymore. It was pretty quick.
Pretty early. Mm-hmm.
I think I went off, hit the wall, got a bunch of damage, and I think it was either that lap or the following one that I decided to pit. I think it was the following one. So
you went off track, hit the wall, got damage, pit, changed to wets, and still won?
Apparently, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Did you repair your damage, or did you just fight through it?
No, I just left it. It was mostly on the side, so it wasn't really doing much.
Gotcha. So it didn't cost you too much pit time. You just and didn't hurt your car too bad. You were able to drive through it.
Yep.
All right. Still, that's pretty impressive to be able to pull that off.
Nice. Yeah, first win of the year, and I think overall, so pretty happy.
Yeah, very, very good. Any other notable moments of the race that stand out to you as you're getting to calm down now from post race?
No, not in particular. It was a lot of fighting through the pack after I pit, but once I was able to get out of the spray, I think you realize how much easier it is to drive, and I think from there it was just kind of don't mess up, and that was all I was thinking about.
Gotcha. We were just talking to Lorenzo, and he was saying how comfortable he is in the rain. I'm assuming from what you just said that that's the same thing for you.
You'd think that, but the practice race we did with my friends on Friday, it was pretty rough. So I think the little practice I did before the session today was helpful. So just gotta get used to it.
Goes to show that the practice pays off.
There you go.
That's what it takes, and if you want to be on the top.
The track's good too. I like Nurburgring, so it's one of my favorites. So just makes it a little easier to deal with when it's wet.
We were talking about that then. I'll ask you real quick. I got a brain teaser for you. What do you know what Nurburgring means?
The ring around Nurburgring? I don't know.
Yeah, that was pretty close.
That was pretty close. It was the castle of the ring. The castle of the ring was the answer. We all kind of learned that tonight ourselves. I just figured since you said it was your favorite, maybe you knew. Had some secrets that we didn't all know.
I did not. No.
Well, it's safe to say it was very was kind to you tonight and worked out for you. And congratulations on your first place finish tonight. And are you ready to take that into next week? Take that momentum?
We'll find out. I'm not a big fan of Zolder, so we'll see.
Older, I forgot about that.
Thanks for reminding me that next week is Zolder, which is a track I feel like almost nobody drives.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hectic.
Once again, the practice will probably pay off.
I don't want to practice though.
It's Zolder. I've driven it a few times, and I think it's just okay.
Yeah.
So I actually have to ask you, or bring this up. You know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the third place here, Paganini, they actually went out and started the race on wets. Did it ever like really cross your mind, or did you even like consider maybe trying to start with wets instead of doing the dry start?
Yes. Two of my buddies are in the D1, and we were on we were just chatting in Discord during the race and before the race, and we were just like trying to figure out if it was worth the dry tires, and we all kind of just agreed like, yeah, go for it. So I looked at the track and I was like, the wets are gonna just overheat if you tried it, and it seems like that's what happened. So
that is true.
I was hoping to get more than like 4 laps until the rain started, but it still worked out in the end, obviously.
Yeah, because you came in from 9th and you got first place doing that, and then Paganini started first, but then ended up in 3rd. So it seems like your strategy call is the right call to do or to make.
At least for that one, yeah. The gap.
And not hit any, not get into any kind of incidents.
Yeah, that was the key. To not mess up.
To speculate a little bit here, I think that your qualifying position is going to play a huge factor as well in this type of situation, because for someone who started maybe in the back half, above 20th position, they could try to go out on those dries, but if they don't have and I'm kind of saying this is probably going to be me, without the confidence to like kind of carry that dry tire in the wet for a while, I could see maybe just taking the move to start out on wets, save yourself from having to do that early pit, to drive those dry tires on a starting to get greasy track for sure. But that also comes down to practice, because I feel like if you spend time practicing and getting used to how the dries feel on a greasy track, then it can better prepare you to face that, and like the P2 Lorenzo was saying, they started out on dries, but they were already driving the wet line, because that was another thing I was curious about. Are you taking that aggressive dry line at the first, which I think you may have been, because you were turning in some pretty fast laps before the rain came in. I think you may have even held, correct me if I'm wrong here, anybody, but I think you held fastest lap to the very end of the race. So, it's interesting to see that you were then able to adjust to the rain coming in, where Lorenzo, I think just the play that there was just start out driving it like it's a wet track, just wait for the rain to come on, and then that way you're not having to mentally adjust and everything, because I definitely saw a fair few people missing their braking points once that rain came in.
I did the first 3 laps, maybe 4 laps. I definitely drove it like it was a fully dry track and was hitting braking points for the dry track. and that obviously helps a lot because then you take so much more speed through all the corners. So, yeah, I think there was a point where you could feel. I mean, you can obviously tell once the rain starts. You can feel once the track gets greasy and you start losing grip. That was the point where I was like, yeah, crap, this is gonna go to shit if I'm not careful. So it was more of a keep the car going straight and just try and make it as long as I could without losing too much time on the dry tires.
Well, it sounds good. It all seemed to work out for you. Thank you for chatting with us here post-race. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
And good luck to you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. See you guys.
See you around. Congrats again on that win.
All right, let's send Mr. 𝐿𝐼𝐴𝐺 back. And then that's pretty much it. I think we're pretty much done, guys. So any last words before we get the heck out of here?
Exciting race at Nurburgring in the race. I tried to put my commentator curse on it, but they did really well.
You know, I find this interesting because this was an exciting race with some really good battles, and also a cleaner race than Misano. Even I would venture to say. You know, it's really, I think, showing that you know, with Misano, you've got us coming back from a break. Sure, you know, people have had a couple weeks to practice, but you know, the holidays are busy, right? I mean, I certainly didn't get any practice going into Misano, so to come back, you know, it was a given that it was going to be some rough racing. Coming into Nurburgring, you know, I'm seeing that everyone's kind of finding their footing. They're getting comfortable again. And clearly these drivers put their practice in because generally speaking, I didn't see any major incidents. And nothing on turn 1, lap 1, you know, that's great. I'd love to see it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how these drivers continue to improve as we go into the next round at Zolder, which, as I alluded to earlier, is a track that doesn't get driven very often, I don't think. So I'm curious to see how people practice for it.
And I'm thinking about the turn probably 3 or 4, the sausage curb there. That's going to catch plenty of people out. Yeah, right. Yeah, gotta remember that one. And then you come up over the hill, you got to brake hard into that really tight chicane. There's definitely some difficult parts of Zolder.
Jeez, I'm just remembering it all right now, and it's just,
yeah.
That sausage curb just, yeah.
It'll kill you.
I don't want to think about it anymore. But anyways,
I don't blame you.
Yeah, that track, I don't use it as much, and I should be, but at the same time, that sausage curb is gonna kill everybody if they don't remember it.
Folks, next week we're gonna have cars turning into rocket ships.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a ton of time on that track, but I have enough that sausage curb is seared into my nightmares.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. But anyways, that's it for us here at the broadcasting team here for you guys. That was Division 5 Round 4 Nurburgring. Again, our winners are our podium positions in P3. It was Dave Paganini, and then in P2 was Ramon Lorenzo, and then for your win, Mr. Alex Stupa. I should have asked him before he left his last name. Dang it. Alex takes up P1 for your race, and next week we are going to Zolder. We're gonna have a good time there. I will see you guys there. Other than that, if you guys are racing tomorrow, good luck tomorrow, and tune in next week for round 5 with us at Division 5.
Thanks for having me here. We'll see you then.
Robert,
you folks next week.
Later, guys.
Or tomorrow, as it were.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. Dang it. Later, guys.
See y'all.